Hello, everybody. Today we're going to have a real treat. We're going to be talking about Muscat Canelli, which is my absolute favorite aromatic grape. And to start with, let's talk about Muscat Canelli. Muscat Canelli originates from Greece, probably thousands of years ago. Then, when the Romans invaded Greece, they took the grape and they adopted it themselves, and they planted it all throughout Italy, all the way down to Sicily, where they call it Zabibo, all the way up to Piedmonte area and the area also of Asti, which is where we mostly know Italian Muscat Canelli. Years ago, the grape was considered the most aromatic of all of the muscats, Muscat Canelli. Recently, the federal government lumped all of the muscats into one big pile and called it Moscato. Now, in Italian, Moscato means muscat. Unfortunately, there are a lot of lesser Muscat grapes. Muscat Canelli happens to be the best, and that's what we grow in our vineyards in Texas. So let's start off with the Italian version, and it's Moscato di Asti. And this is a DOCG wine, which means it's the top of the line in that region. It's very typical. It is a 19 vintage. And one of the things that is a surprise when you open this was cork finished. This was not sparkling wine finished with a cork like a sparkling wine. So when you pour this, son of a gun, it's got bubbles. Well, what is that called? That is called frizzante. That's the fizz. So how do they do that? Well, they first of all harvest the grapes earlier than we do. They harvest the grapes at about 19% sugar. They actively ferment it, and then they bottle the wine shortly thereafter active fermentation. They filter it before they do that, but when they do that, they trap the natural carbon dioxide in the wine, and it stays in the bottle. And if they do it at low enough pressure, it will not blow the cork. So it's a very interesting concept. It's fizzy, so when you drink it, you can pick up the carbonation. It's very low in alcohol. It's only 5% alcohol, so it's easy to drink. It's very light-bodied. It's very aromatic. It's a lovely a wine, and it's called Asti, Moscato di Asti. So let's put that aside, and that's a fun wine, especially if you're having kind of light foods and things like that. Now, a little more serious wine. This is our Moscato. We've changed the name from Muscat Canelli to Moscato. I'm hoping that we go back to calling it Muscat Canelli because it's really a lovely, lovely grape, and that's what we grow. This is from the Young Family Vineyards. Now, that's very, very special because the Young family planted this grape by my recommendation way back in 1987. This is a four-generation Texas family. They've been up living in the high plains for many, many years. They are cotton farmers that have become one of our premier grape families in the state of Texas. Larry Young is the current operator. His father started the operation in the 80s, and we contracted with him, and now we contract with Larry. His Muscat Canelli, 20 acres at 3,300 feet of elevation, is, in my opinion, the finest Muscat Canelli in the state of Texas. And we make it as a still table wine. Now, we do try to bottle it relatively young in the bottle, so ours has a little bit of that CO2 type excitement, but not to the extent that the Italian Asti is. So when you smell ours, you pick up that unbelievable apricot, peach aroma. Muscat Canellis can be made in a dry style a semi-dry style, which is what our style is. Ours has about 1.5 residual sugar. So it goes with Asian food, Tex-Mex. It's extremely versatile, and it's one that is very, very popular. It's, I think, one of our best aromatic grapes. And the other nice thing about it is that it can be left on the plant for a longer period of time. And that's when we get into something that is really special, and it's called late harvest. And this is something that we do for the former students at Texas A&M. It's a late harvest Muscat Canelli. We leave it on the vine until it gets to maybe 23, 24% residual sugar, and then we bottle it. And I'll tell you something. You talk about the nectar of the gods. It is truly that way. If a person likes a sweet wine, which goes fabulously with really spicy food like barbecue and a lot of maybe really hot Tex-Mex, then it could be used as a table wine. But most of the time, you use it as a dessert-style wine. So this goes with peach pie like unbelievable. Like when you drink this and you have a peach or an apple pie, I mean, you've died and you've gone to heaven. I mean, it is amazing. So this is a late harvest Muscat Canelli, which is just divine. It's a beautiful, beautiful example of making fabulous wine. Now, the other thing that Muscat Canelli is, it is one of the most fabulous blending grapes that you can have. And this is one of our most popular wines. It's called Beau. And Beau is about 50% Muscat Canelli. And the rest of it is some of our red varietals. So when you pour it, it is a light red wine. And it has become an extremely popular portion of our wine sales and wine market, because people love red wine. Especially, you take this and you chill it. You chill it almost like you do a white wine, but it goes with barbecue, and it goes with pork. It goes with a hamburger, pizza. It's a lovely color. It has that Muscat Canelli aroma, and yet it's a red wine. So it is so versatile. So Messina Hof has the opportunity of taking the young family vineyard Muscat Canelli and putting a little bit in our Riesling, a little bit in our aromatic. Chenin Blanc is another great example. And there's one other fabulous use of Muscat Canelli. And we're not going to let the Italians outdo us. So we make our own Spumante. But the difference is ours is a traditional method sparkling wine. In other words, this wine has undergone a second fermentation in this bottle. So when you pop this cork, it's not fizzante. It's a boom of great carbonation. And it fulfills all of your goals and objectives in having a sparkling wine. So we took the style of Asti and taken it to the full benefit that it can have with sparkling bubbles. So that's it. I just wanted to explain to you all the fabulous uses of Muscat Canelli. We're so grateful to the young family vineyard, because they work so hard in producing fabulous fruit, which goes into gold medal wines for Messina Hof. So God bless you all, and enjoy our Messina Hof wines, and enjoy Texas wine. God bless you all.